Hello friends and welcome back to Too Many Minis. My name's Ossie. It's Warhammer Fest. I got a hat. And they've unveiled the new 40k box. And it is Leviathan. This is like Indomitus. Two sides. Space Marines versus Tyranids. All new models. It said 13 sprues, I think it said. Let's have a look at what's in it. On the Tyranid side, you got a new Screamer Killer. Update on the really dorky looking scythe armed model from second edition, and that's kind of the big boy of this Tyranid side. I'm into this one. I'm not really a Tyranid guy, but this Neuro Tyrant, this is legit. This is like a psychic, just really impressive psyker monster octopus squid thing with little baby ones hanging out next to it. Big fan of that. Yeah, they've unveiled these new Neuro Gaunts. Got the Winged Tyranid Prime, which we'd already seen in a preview. Von Ryan's Leapers we'd already seen as well. I guess we'll find out about the naming convention for them. The Termagants that we'd seen. Barb Gaunts, these are like artillery monsters. This pretty impressive guy, the Psychophage. This eats psychers. This eats enemy psychers. The Tyranid side is pretty stacked. I think they said 47 models. On the Marine side, which I'm more excited about, is Terminator Captain, who looks fantastic. A lot of these guys, I'm going to be doing head swaps to make them look a bit more salamandery. I'm going to get some bald guys and bald heads, but I think they're going to look great. I'm really excited to paint this lot up. The Librarian in Terminator Armor, probably my favourite model in this set. Or individual model. I think he's fantastic. Again, he'll make a good salamander. I don't think he's got hair, so he's good. He's good to go. The Lieutenant with Combi Flavor is a nice model. I'm not crazy about Phobos armor, but I think it's a good pose, and he's got an interesting head. Could be salamandery. Look at that. It's pretty bald. He could be burnt. One of the best models they revealed today was the Apothecary Biologist. Apparently, rather than a medic, he's more of a sort of scientist experimenting. He's got like a, the little pots you get from the doctors to put a stool sample in. He's got one of them, but for taking bits of Tyranids. Pretty exciting. And yeah, he's in Gravis armor. I think he looks great. You've got the Terminators, which they're really the star of the show. I mean, we'd already seen them, so they're not the star of today's show, but I think they're the star of the box. Just having really quality modern Terminators that are very much true to the original look of Terminators. Sternguard Veterans, that's just an update of the kind of small Marines of that, but I think they look great. They've got the combi weapons and lots of extra like frippery decorating them. I was looking up, what first company salamanders are supposed to wear, and they've got green trim on their shoulder pads, so I guess I'll be doing them. And then this is very salamandery, the Infernus Squad, which is a bunch of flamer guys. So they're just your regular Primaris Marines, but with flamers and this kind of cool modern style flamer. The guy's got a grenade. That's very salamandery. I'll be doing them. I've got to decide whether to use the Forge World Mark 6 heads on them or what. Not sure if I just use these ones or get the Salamanders upgrades through again. The Ballistus Dreadnought is like the ones we've already had, the Redemptor and all that kind of thing, but this is looking a bit more like an old-fashioned boxy Dreadnought. This has got the long-range options, missile launchers and las cannons, twin-link las cannon. Very much you stand at the back, take out things from long range guy. But it's nice. I think it kind of ties the modern Dreadnoughts back into the look of the old Dreadnoughts. The book looks colossal, the new rule book. Lots of new art. Looks like great layout. This is interesting for me. I'm very interested in the combat patrol rules, where you just get the combat patrol out the box and you can play it, and you download data sheets for that are balanced-ish, I guess, across all the different combat patrols. Whereas it just allows you to just pick up a box and play them, and you don't have to get into army building. You don't have to get into, I'm starting a whole new thing. You just go, no, I'm going to get a Gene Stealer Colts box, paint it. There you go. You just play with them straight out of the box. And both sides of this box set can be used in combat patrol. I think you leave a couple of models out or something, but I think that's that's really ideal, because you can say, if you and a friend split the box, you've got a combat patrol each. Your third friend buys Leagues of Votan combat patrol. You've all got equal armies that you can go against each other, and there's a way of doing that. In time, you'll probably want to add more and do army building and all that kind of thing. But the idea that you can just get them out of the box, like a commander deck in Magic or a starter deck in Pokemon or something, you know what I mean? It's just out of the box, it works. You don't have to faff about with stuff. I love that. I think that's such a good thing to add to the game. Apparently, there's a narrative, the crusade mode is in that big book. They're going to be releasing it separately, but it's in the book, in the box. Got this mission deck, and they outlined the missions stuff yesterday on Warhammer Community. It's kind of interesting. It's a bit like Warcry. It seems to be taking something from Warcry with the cards. You're getting an initial mission, you're getting secondaries, defender secondaries, and gambits. So you have kind of twists like you have in Warcry. You've got kind of more things. So halfway through the game, you could throw out your mission and go towards a different one and be like, no, that's not working. We'll try this different one instead. I think it's good. I think the card art looks great. They also showed a roadmap for the next year of 40k releases. So you've got the Leviathan from the box, the core book, the Crusade book, which is split out from that, from the Leviathan book. Chapter approved mission deck, and that's what you're getting in the Leviathan box as well. So it's 66 cards, and then index cards for all armies. So they were saying like all forces will have the index cards. You can buy them or you can download them for free at the launch. They didn't say exactly when the launch was going to be, but they also kind of sort of said it was a month away, or roughly a month away. So I think early June sounds like. Then it's codexes for Tyranid and Space Marines in autumn. No surprises there. They always follow up the big core box with the relevant codexes. And then Admech and Necrons. It's kind of interesting because Necrons had the big range refresh with the last edition. To have them so early again is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. But Admech were a bit later, and then you've got Dark Angels, Orcs, kind of big ones, Custodes, Tau, and Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines coming in spring 2024. There's a lot in the first year, seems to me. I mean, it's not a whole year. If you're starting in summer, there's quite a lot through to spring of next year. I'm excited about some of those, the Space Marines, the Orcs. Always excited to see what they do with Tau. Seems like a pretty solid range for that first year. No, they've said on Warhammer Community there's June, so they'll go on order in June. It's pretty exciting. Like I'm more excited for 40k than I've been for a long time. I love the combat patrol thing. I love the simplification and the idea that it's going to be easier to play. If nothing else, if that doesn't prove to be the case, at least it'll be easy to play because it's the beginning of a new edition. Easy. That's just it's fun. The beginning of a new edition. I think it's going to be good. I'm definitely be playing some this year. I'm definitely getting the box. I'm excited to paint up the Marine half. Tyranid is not my thing. I'll do something else with them. I'm really pleased though with the contents overall from the Marine perspective. There was a moment where people were saying, oh, it's going to be Blood Angels, it's going to be Dark Angels, it's going to be quite specific stuff to a particular chapter. I'm really pleased it's vanilla and I can do them as Salamanders. I can use the whole of that box as Salamanders. I mean, I'm not that thrilled about the Dreadnought, it doesn't really fit, but everything else I can do that up as Salamanders and I'm banging into it. I think it's a really solid 40k reveal. There's not many surprises in there. I mean, they haven't gone into further into the reveals, like showing us what would be in something from the Codex releases following the main box. But that's fine. I mean, this is a big box. It's going to be by far their biggest earner of the year, of the few years since Indomitus, I'm sure. And it's a big thing for the hobby. I mean, miniatures in general, we've got Star Wars Shatterpoint, which I'm hyped for, and 10th edition, both dropping in June, which is a bit mad. I'm sure that won't phase Games Workshop at all, but it's probably a big deal for AMG who do Shatterpoint, that a lot of us nerds are going to be like, I just got this Star Wars box, and then like a couple of weeks later, you've got 40k box landing with 73 minis in it, or whatever it is. It's a lot. But you can't have too many minis, so bring it on. Got more reveals coming later. We've got the Warcry, Underworlds, and Middle-earth, which I'm especially looking forward to. Don't know what's happening with Underworlds. Warcry, I think, has been leaked quite a bit, so I think we know a bit with that. And Middle-earth, really don't know what it's going to be. We've got some clues, but don't know. So excited to see that. Let me know how you're feeling about 40k. Obviously, it's the big behemoth of wargaming, but this, to me, it's like a moment where it's way more appealing as a game system to me. I love the models. If I can have an easy way of playing some games with them, great. Doubtless we'll be finding out more over the next few weeks. What do you make of it? Let me know. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.